Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Red Devil experience. We are here with the Red Devil recap. Wigan 0, Manchester United 2. We move on to the next round of the FA Cup. Let's get straight into the performances. Let's get straight into it. I got some stuff I want to say that might surprise some people. Um, Listen, I'm not going to beat around the bush right off the bat. Some of this stuff, some people might call negative. I'm happy that we got the win. I'm happy that we moved on to the next round. But at the same time, we're gonna be real, like we always are. We're gonna keep it real. Listen, we played League One Wigan. We only won 2-0. We didn't look that great. Um, if I took that performance and I put it up against a um Premier League team, I mean, I don't even know if we win that match if we're performing like that, to be quite honest. So this is why, I'm happy with the win. I'm happy that we get to move on. It gives us an opportunity at a trophy. Um, it's probably the only one that we have. Actually, it is the only one that we have because we're out of the Carabao Cup and we ain't winning the Premier League and we're not in Europe. So this is the only trophy we have to fight for this season. So that is the positive. But just certain player performances kind of concerning. Kind of concerning, and it goes hand in hand with the stuff that we've been talking about on this channel, on this show. Um, and I'm gonna get into all that. I want to hit on some positives as well. I mean, Kobe Mainoo. I feel like I'm coming on here and I'm saying it every week, every match. The kid is just phenomenal. He's phenomenal. It's his age 17, 18. It don't even matter what his age is. I mean, the kid is so calm, collected. Um, he's smart. He knows what he's doing. He plays his role very, very well, and he is a huge, huge positive um, to the squad, to the team, and definitely one of the more positive breakthroughs we've had this season. And I know we haven't had a lot, so you might say, yeah, well, the bar is kind of low, but still, this kid, I just love the way he plays. Um, and Garnacho was fantastic as well, playing on the right wing today. We mentioned in couple previous shows, I said why play Garnacho on the right, play Rashford on the right. They're both capable of playing on the left and the right. Stop playing Anthony on the right. Now, of course, Anthony didn't play today because he had some type of injury. Um, so he wasn't available for the match. But yeah, just I mean, Garnacho can play just as good on the right as he does on the left. So, for me, if you have two players that can play both sides, but you have one guy that's only left-footed and he's very one-footed, stop playing him on the right. He's not scoring goals. He's not doing stuff for us. But that's a different story for a different time. Um, so I want to touch on uh, we were kind of in cruise control. It looked like the team was kind of taking it easy. Some players it looked like they were taking it easy. Other players looked like they wanted to get after it every time they got on the ball, which left me feeling sort of confused because it was like almost like the team wasn't almost on the same page. We were the center backs seemed like they just wanted to hold the ball and keep everything calm. You give it to Garnacho. He's always trying to go forward. Bruno at times is telling the team calm it down. But then you get a couple players on the ball and they're very direct. So it's a little weird. Um, and this is something that I don't enjoy doing this. But Marcus Rashford, he is really, really worrying me. Really, really worrying me. He did not look great today, and he's still again too selfish, too selfish. I thought in the first half of the game, he actually wasn't that selfish, but when we got into the second half, he became increasingly more selfish. Stopped looking for Hoyland in the center, and I just don't understand. I don't. I mean, I guess Ten Hag. I mean, what is Ten Hag supposed to really tell him? Marcus Rashford has never actually been. Um, he's not a guy that whips in balls. He's a guy that runs off the wing. He's an inside forward. He cuts in and he tries to take a shot. It just doesn't work for the rest of the team though. When you play like that, and in the first half, I kind of thought, all right, his body language is looking a little bit improved. His body language is looking a little bit improved because he was trying to take players on, and stuff wasn't happening for him. Uh, you know, Trying to take on 2, 3 players in the box, losing the ball. When he did try to make the pass into the center, it would get blocked, it wouldn't come off. And I seen him in past games where it kind of just, his body language would be more visible. It would be more expressed, where you can see the frustration all over him, and it didn't look that much in that first half, but in the second half, um, his head started to drop when things didn't come off. And like I said, he was just being way more selfish and stopped looking for his. He was taking too long. He was taking too long to make the decision to try and give it to Hojlund, and there was quite some opportunities that he should have made the pass and he didn't. And then there was even a chance that Hojlund picked up the ball and he literally ran down the right, went into the box, defender right on him, and he forced the shot. And he probably shouldn't have shot it, but when I seen it, I said to myself, I said, well, he did that because the kid's been begging to get a damn pass for like 30 minutes, and no one's giving him the ball. Like I've played there. I've been there when you're sitting in the box and you're waiting, especially if you missed. He didn't miss some chances early on, and he definitely should have scored. He definitely should have scored. I'm not saying that he got zero chances, but like I said, sometimes you miss chances. In this kid's case, it hasn't been great for him, so he's struggling a little bit. He missed chances. He should have scored like at least 2 goals. Um, Off the crossbar, somehow kicked it wide, like four yards away from the goal. Um, that's kind of concerning me too, because I think he came in here very ready to go, and now he's sort of lacking confidence. And that's not good for a 19-year-old kid, especially when this kid was never supposed to be the main striker for Manchester United, in a struggling Manchester United, in a Manchester United that hasn't been great for years now. He was never that type of player anyway. He only scored 9 goals in for Atalanta. It's not like he was banging in 22 goals or something like that. This kid was supposed to be the second striker. He was supposed to learn off of the more experienced striker that we were supposed to get at the club, and as we know, that never happened. But yeah, that it was just very. I'm happy that we won, but I can't be excited by that. I can't really be excited by that performance because it's League One Wigan. Um, I said if we don't win this match, we should just automatically be relegated from the Premier League. There's no way you don't win that match. But I just keep thinking in my head, I'm like, if we performed like that against a Premier League team, I don't think we win that match. We either tie or lose. Um, and that's concerning because it's like, yes, okay, we keep saying League One team, Wigan, they're not so they're not good, but this is it's like a free pass for the players. Go out there, bang in like 3 or 4 goals. Um, but I noticed the team is very, very, like I said in previous episodes, they're not. There's a lack of cohesion between these players. There's a lack of communication. There is a lack of trust. They don't. These For whatever reason, these guys don't play as a team. They don't play as a team, and it's really pissing me off. Because you will never be successful on the pitch, um, playing with a bunch of individuals. And it's just it's you can see it. It's like pockets, and certain players just don't. They're not looking for their teammates. They're not trying to create for their teammates. They're not trusting in their teammates. And you can't be good on the pitch if you have that. So it's I'm getting very annoyed by that by now. But let's uh, let me say Alejandro Garnacho and Kobe Mainoo. I said this at halftime on X because I like to go on X at halftime and just see what the fan base's general vibe is and stuff like that. And I I I said that so far at halftime, I said Kobe Mainoo and Garnacho are the two best players on the pitch, and they're also the two youngest players on the pitch. And in my opinion, that speaks volumes. And what I mean by that is when you have these two kids and they are the ones that are constantly doing something on the pitch, they're constantly having an impact. They're constantly, if you would probably say, playing above their sort of level to experience ratio, right? They're not the most experienced in the squad. We have far more experienced players that have been playing in the first team for far longer than both of them, and they're performing nowhere to the levels of these two kids. And to me, the reason why it speaks volumes is it's amazing when the the drive and the level that gets raised in your performance when you have something to prove, when you're hungry and you have something to prove. You have something to prove to yourself, number one and foremost, but you also have something to prove to everybody else because you're a kid, you're new, you know what I mean? And yeah, you have fans, but you also have doubters, and that could change very quickly on you. I mean, as much as people love Kobe Mainoo and Garnacho, if they started playing like shit and they performed like crap for like 10 games in a row, the fans are going to get on their back and they're not going to be loving them how they're loving them now. You know what I mean? Um so that's why I find it I find it interesting that like these two kids are performing week in and week out. Almost they're two of our best players and they're two of our youngest. They get paid the least amount of money, right? They have the least brand deals. Um the least like social media, interaction following and all that crap, right? And yet they are the two that are performing the best out of the whole squad. Um and I think this is why I argue, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir David Brailsford and Ineos, um I, if they're gonna do it right, we're gonna have to start over because see those two kids, Mainoo and Garnacho. Another thing that's about them is they haven't been um infected by the negative shit that has been pushing down on the club for the past 10 years. They haven't been infected by it yet because they're one, they're young, they're optimistic, right? Um they haven't been in the period of the club where we failed to win a trophy, we failed to win this game, we get embarrassed by this rival, we lose to this team, we get embarrassed by this team that we shouldn't, they haven't experienced that as much as the other senior players have, especially the ones that have been in the first team for years and years now. Um, so I think if we're gonna do it correctly, we need to get rid of the players. Anybody that was here from Renick uh, to Marino, they should be looking to get rid of, and we need to start again. We need to start new because I think that it's just there's no changing these players. Sometimes they argue you need to change the scenery, you need a fresh new start, and I think Manchester United needs that. But I also think the players that are here need that too. I think they've overstayed way too long, and I think it's just like kind of like it's sort of toxic. It's sort of toxic. Like, they're there because it's Manchester United. It's a big institution. It's a great place to be because of the name and the all the perks you get with being at a club like that. But it's not doing them any good necessarily in terms of for their playing career. Besides getting paid, or besides getting probably overpaid, you would argue. But yeah, it doesn't help the club and it doesn't help them, in my opinion. Nobody is respecting them for being a good player because they're not playing good. So that's kind of concerning. Um, let's do player ratings quick, and then we'll touch up on a few things and we'll end it. I'm gonna keep this one short because the performance was meh, and it's League One Wigan, expected to win. There's nothing you can really champion too much about this, other than that we're through to the next round, and it keeps us in a competition to win a trophy, and hopefully, as we get further down, we'll have more players available. I think we were without 11 players today due to injury or sickness. 11 players still. It's January 2024, and we're still have basically a starting 11. Um, Not that they are all starting 11 players, but I'm saying like we have a full 11 players out due to illness or injury. So we, I don't know, put them in an get them Joe Rogan or something, ice bath. I don't know what they need to do to recover, but get these players back, please. Oh my god, I'm so tired of like going into a match and they're like, yeah, Manchester United have 13 injuries. We're without 13 players today. Like, holy shit, I feel like it's been the whole season. I think it has been the whole season. Um, so yeah, let's get these players back, man. We need them back. We need them back, especially this season. There's no fucking around. Um, so Onana, I give him a 6. Average. Didn't have too much to do. At the first 2 minutes of the game, brilliant save. We were still sleeping. Wigan counterattacked, cut right through us. They could have put it away. You might argue if it was a better team, if it was a Premier League team, they might have scored that goal. But Onana made himself big, made the save. Did his job. That's his job. But still, and otherwise he didn't have too much to do. He was holding the ball in his feet. We were just holding the ball a lot, kind of laissez-faire type of approach, which I know probably annoys some of our fans because we want to see them go after. I would have liked them to put 3 in the first half, and so we could put in the kids, and let the kids play as many minutes as possible. Unfortunately, some of our players decide that they just want to take it easy because this is a easier team, and we could kind of just cruise control instead of just hammering them and getting over with. Um, but yeah, Onana is 6. Wan-Bissaka is 6. I think Wan-Bissaka was good. He did his job. But there wasn't anything spectacular about the performance, just an average performance. But he did good and he did his job. Rafael Varane, same thing. He gets a 6. Not anything crazy. Didn't have too much to do. Um, did what he needed to do. What's expected of him. Not, there's nothing like crazy about the performance. So average 6. Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans, I want to give him like a 6.5. Just a little bit higher for me. He's in between like a 6.5 and a 7, just because dude, Johnny Evans is Johnny Evans has been solid this whole season. This guy, this old man, right? And he's solid, dude. He's solid. Like, he put in a beautiful cross too, by the way, in the beginning of the match. It was a shame that nobody was there to get on the end of it, but I think he put in the best cross the whole match. You know what I mean? And he's just been solid. He's been solid. He doesn't really let us down. He's smart. Uh, he's definitely smart. He definitely knows how to read the game. That's the experience there, for sure. and I like it. He fills me with confidence back there. Honestly, he fills me with more confidence than Lindelof has this season, because Lindelof has been kind of shaky. Um, so yeah, I'm I'm just trying to give him some of his flowers, because when Johnny Evans was signed, um, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Like, I was just picturing it, like, put Johnny Evans and Maguire in, and we're gonna get dusted like 5-0, and it's gonna be a fucking disaster. And it 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 actually hasn't. They both performed well. So they deserve their praise. And I like Johnny Evans as a player. I wish he was younger. I wish Johnny Evans was 26 and playing like this. I really do. It's a shame that he's old. And I know the club probably, it's not ideal that that's who we signed when we wanted Kim and Jay and Todibo and stuff like that. But he's not the he's not bad. He's not bad. He hasn't been bad. So good for him. Diego Dalot, 7. Fantastic goal he scored. I probably should have mentioned this earlier in the video, but yeah, fantastic goal he scored. Um, Rashford, um, layoff to Dalot, and Dalot literally just placed it, and the precision. I mean, that ball went in between maybe like 6 Wigan defenders, split them straight down right into the corner. Went past the goalkeeper. It was that's you would argue that's a striker's finish, not a right back's finish. Um, and it was good. And this is why we say, Diego Dalot, definitely he offers a lot going forward. I think he can offer more. I think he could. I think he could do even better than he's been doing so far. I think he can add some more to that. Um, but yeah, fantastic. And he was good defending and did his job as well. So 7 for me. Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo gets an 8. Like I mentioned in the beginning, kid absolutely fantastic. Um, just does a great job. He's he's smart on the ball, decision making, movement, positioning. He is the real midfielder. He is the real midfielder. Um, and I sit there now and I just watch these games and I'm like, look what he does and look what McTominay does. And Scott McTominay could never do what Kobe Mainoo does, because he just doesn't have it in him. And that's what's been the biggest eye opener for me. Um, you see it live in real time, side by side. They're both on the pitch at the same time, and you see this kid. He's only a kid, but he's doing what you need from your midfielder to do. And Scott McTominay is 27 years old, and he's never done it, and he can't do it. I think it took Scott McTominay 3 or 4 minutes into the match to even get his first touch on ball. I mean, you're in the midfielder. You're supposed to, get on the this. I've been saying this, and I'm wasting my breath saying it because he's never gonna do it. And everybody knows he can't do it. But, yeah, Kobe Mainoo 8, Scott McTominay 4. For reasons we just mentioned. What did he offer? Another thing, something that was really pissing me off was, dude, I don't know what his position was today. But he was like up Hojlund's ass the entire game. It was pissing me off, because every time we had an attacking play, I'm looking up and I'm looking at the box, in the center of the box, and I see Hojlund here, and I see McTominay fucking right here, like right up his ass, right behind him, dude. Give the strikers some fucking room, bro. He's playing his position. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You're just out there floating around. Like, it was pissing me off. It's pissing me off. Plus, it's kind of hard to tell them apart when you can't see their number from the back. Like, I'm like, fuck, who shot that? Was it Hojlund, McTominay? I don't know if the screen would be like, oh fuck, come on, kid. Um, but yeah, I was getting irritated by that, dude. Like, I don't know what that was all about. But he McTominay McTominay should have had a fucking hat trick. I mean, there was like 2 chances. I don't know how he didn't score. So you're gonna criticize Hojlund. I criticize McTominay too, because he had the same fucking chances. He didn't score either. But other than that, in terms of a midfielder, he didn't do fuck all. He didn't offer shit. Um, he did all right defensively, but we were never really in trouble. Like if he wasn't there, somebody else would have got it done. He made a couple tackles, especially like in the second half when we kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit, and we were like more sort of in cruise control. Bruno, he gets a 6. I think Bruno played pretty average today. He got a goal off a penalty. Um, I thought he was getting on the ball. I thought he was moving the ball around a lot, like good. I don't think he made too many mistakes today. Not like usually. He didn't really give the ball away too much. There was still that one random shot where he kicked it into the fucking upper stands or whatever. But that's Bruno. He does it. He's never not gonna do it. I had a friend that's a Sporting fan, and he told me before Bruno even came to this club. He's like, dude, just get ready for the random fucking 45-yard shot from Bruno Fernandes. At least twice a match or something like that. So I've always been prepared for that. I always knew he was going to do it because my friend told me that that's what he does. So I'm kind of used to it. Um, so he gets a 6. Garnacho, 7. Um, he was great. Probably, I feel like he deserved the goal. He smacked the crossbar, absolute bullet of a shot. Unlucky that it hit the crossbar and didn't go in. But he was great on the right hand side. He was creating. He was taking players on. He was trying to put balls into the box. He was cutting inside. He did it all. He was tracking back, winning the ball back, sprinting down the line, chasing the winger from Wigan down and winning the ball back and showing some muscle, showing some strength. So I think Garnacho had a fantastic game, um, and I want to see more. I liked it. I liked it a lot, and let's hope he could keep that up. Marcus Rashford, 5. Um, just you know, like I said, very concerning. Um, just doesn't look like himself. Too selfish at times. Not either being too selfish or not being smart enough when he has the ball. It's very frustrating. He keeps trying to take on these 3 players. Just simplify the game, dude. Just simplify the game. I've said it in one of the previous episodes, dude. Just simplify your game, bro. It'll make it easier for you. It'll make it easier for your team, and everybody will be way better off. It's if you simplify it, you're playing quicker, you're playing more simple, and it just makes it easier. Like he's overcomplicating things, he's forcing things, and it's not a good look for him because it's not coming off, it's not working for him, and he's getting criticized, and rightfully so. He should get criticized, just like how we've criticized multiple players in the past. This fan base has criticized Maguire. We've criticized all types of players. Um, they deserve criticism when they don't do what they're supposed to be doing. This is Manchester United at the end of the day. This isn't fucking Sunday League football or something. So, you know, I'm very concerned with him. Very concerned with him. I didn't want to believe, and there was a lot of talk before the season, like watch how he's going to perform now that he's got this big contract, and I didn't want to believe it because I kind of thought that was just a lot of BS talk. Um, but it's not looking good. It's all like how I was talking about Garnacho and Mainoo, like they have something to prove. It was like Marcus Rashford had something to prove last season, and we gave him a huge contract because he had a fantastic season and he proved, right, that he can perform at that level, right? And we gave it to him, and it's almost like because we gave that to him, his intensity, his level, um, to keep on proving has dropped, and that's concerning. Um, I compare it to, I don't know if anybody's ever seen the documentary, The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, right? There is a there is a piece in the documentary where there is like some lesser known name player that was on the Bulls. He was a backup, right? But he had to play because one of the starters, one of the main guys of Jordan's teammates, he was out injured. This guy doesn't play much. He wasn't super athletic, but he was a part of this. He was a squad player. This guy came in, right? Ready to prove something. It's his opportunity. I got to step up to the plate. And Michael Jordan said that, this guy had like 12 points, Um, Couple assists, rebounds, blocks going into halftime. Michael Jordan said that he told him he was playing great, and Michael Jordan then says he the his teammate finished the game with the same amount of points, the same amount of assists, the same amount of rebounds. And Michael Jordan went up to him and said, "Listen, I don't care if you like me or not for saying this, but he's like, that's the last damn time I give you a compliment." And I I I I liken that to Rashford's situation. It's like the contract was like a huge compliment to Rashford for how well he played, and we gave it to him. And now it's like he's dropped levels because of it. And that's concerning when you're trying to challenge teams like Manchester City and Liverpool for the Premier League, or you're trying to challenge teams that win trophies, or when you're just trying to be a great team. You can't have that. You can't have that. You need to be at the top of your game at all times. Um, and I don't know what's gonna happen going forward. I don't know. I mean, this season looks chalked for Marcus Rashford. Doesn't look like he's gonna turn it around. It's been happening all season. I don't see how it changes. And then you got to see what Ineos would want to decide to do in the summer. If he stays here and we go into next season and it's something very similar to this season, I think that might be the end of it. But we don't know what's gonna happen. And it's in his hands as well. He could prove me wrong. He could prove us all wrong. He could turn around. He could catch fire, starting next week. I hope he does. I got nothing against Rashford. Rashford was, I mean, he is one of my favorite players from this past 10 years of Manchester United because I love that kid. During the Van Gaal season, there wasn't much to be happy about. And that kid was when he came on and he played those 2 games and scored those fucking goals for us in Europa League. Europa League and then against Arsenal. He was the only positive this season. He was the only bright thing I looked forward to. He made me enjoy watching the team because I was like, here's a kid that I can actually be excited about. I have his kit. So it's disappointing and it hurts to see him like this. I don't want to see him fail. I want to see him do good, but he's just not doing it. And I wish he can figure it out and fix it. I really do. I really do. Um, because it would be better for everybody at the end instead of having it all come and crash down, having him just end up being complete, or just having it fail at the end, and we're gonna have to part ways, and just it's not good for either anybody. Um, Rasmus Hojlund, I'm gonna give him a 5. Should have scored, should have had 2 goals. Especially the one that was like 4 yards out, and it was a sitter. He had a lapse in concentration for just that split second. You can't have that. You can't have that. If he was switched on, he would have reacted correctly, and that's why he didn't score that sitter off the rebound from the keeper because he switched off for like just 0.2 seconds and reacted sort of late, and the ball kind of just hit him in the foot instead of him kicking the ball. Um, Again, there's too much selfishness. This kid doesn't get service. So what it leads to is him dropping deep, trying to pick up the ball, trying to get on the ball, trying to make a dribble so he can create a chance for himself. And that's kind of ridiculous. It is. Because he shouldn't be having to do that. It's your striker at the end of the day. The striker should always be supplied with opportunities. The striker should always be supplied with as many opportunities as you can fucking give him because his job is in the name of his position. He is a striker. His job is to strike the ball at the net and try and put it in the net. Um and if that's his job, then you need to give him the ball as much as possible for him to do that, you know? So, but again, I can't give him average because he should have scored, and we're playing a fucking League One team, and he's got to do better. He's got to do better. I still believe in the kid. I still back the kid. I think this kid can do it, but we also have to be careful. Just like how I mentioned with Kobe Mainoo and Garnacho, they haven't been absorbed by the toxic crap that has been weighing down on this club for the past 10 years. Um, he's new too, and he's young. We have to protect these players. We cannot let them get infected like they've infected these other players. Um, we need to fix that. We need to clean that up. We need to clear that out, and we need to build with these kids. Uh, I will back this kid. Again, it's his first season. I'm willing to give him a lot of leeway for this first season. Especially he shouldn't be the main striker. He was never supposed to be the main striker. That was never the fucking plan. But of course, Manchester United, the way they operate, plans don't even exist. It's just always chaos and panic. So, and we're seeing results of that. Willie Kumbwala, 6. Palestri, 6. Hannibal, 6. Omari Forson, 6. And Eric Ten Hag, 6, because, you know, it's again, it's League One Wigan. I expect those players to go out there and win that fucking match even with no manager. You know what I mean? So I can't sit here and say Ten Hag fucking tactical masterclass. Because we should be winning the game with or without a manager. With the players we have. So, so that leaves us with man of the match is Kobe Mainoo. Absolutely, 100%. I think he played a complete game. He was fucking great. I really, really love this kid. I'm excited by him. Um, let's see him just keep playing, man. Just keep playing. He's been one of the him and Garnacho have the two bright sparks in this up and down kind of depressing season that we're going through. So that's basically everything on the match. Real quick, because we are here pressed for time. Let me just hop on X and see if there's anything that's like interesting. You got Kobe and Garnacho talking to each other on social media. Um, Kobe put up a post. Garnacho commented under his post and said, "Man of the match again." With a laughing face and a goat emoji. Love it, love it. Let's see chemistry. Those two kids, because they came up together. You know what I mean? They got it. They got it. They know it. They know what it's about. Um, Alejandro Garnacho, in my opinion, should get number 7 shirt. I don't know why he was ever given the Mason Mount, but I'm sure Garnacho's gonna get it at some point. To me, Garnacho is the number 7. He's the real number 7. Uh, not saying that like Mason Mount is completely crap or whatever. I just don't think Mason Mount is the 7. I think Garnacho is 7. Mason Mount should be, whatever 18, whatever number. Just not 7. Ten Hag made some comments. Eric Ten Hag on possible loans this month. We consider everything the best interest of the player and for us, our team. We will see how it progresses during the window. Um. Oh, breaking news, everybody. Probably would have started this because we got to the end now and we're really deep in. But this came out about 40 minutes ago from the time of this recording. Fenerbahce are in negotiations to sign Anthony Martial on loan. So it seems like we'll finally be getting rid of Anthony Martial. Thank God. Um, I hope we don't end up paying like. Listen, if we pay half his wages to get him out, get him out. You're still saving. Paying half his wages still say that's still about 7.5 million. We're halfway through the season, so that's about uh like 3.75 million, something like that, 4 million, whatever. Around there. Just get him out because then he's a free agent. We're obviously not giving him another contract, so he gets to leave for free. And we send him to Fenerbahce, and he doesn't come back to Manchester United. That's the way forward. Ten Hag also said in the first half, We had 5 or 6 very good chances. It was very good football, but if you don't score, you have to stay focused, and I think that's what we did tonight. Um, as I mentioned, he's always given very PR responses. You know, but as I said as well, um, this is why we suffer in games because we should have been up 3-0 in the first half. We don't finish our dinner. And if you're playing a better team and you concede a goal, that's where we suffer. We end up losing the match. Heads go down. We lose belief. You know what I mean? That game should have been put away in the first 25, 30 minutes of the first half. It should have been over. We shouldn't have went into halftime 1-0. Because if you're playing a Brighton or somebody like that, when you should have been up 3-0 and you go into halftime and it's 1-0 or it's 0-0 and you go into the second half and they come out and they fucking score a goal on you, well, there you go. Now you're gonna suffer. Now it's gonna be harder. And we know these players. They're very Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes they decide, to be men and go out there and pull off some amazing comebacks. Sometimes they decide to drop their heads and go into hiding, and it's like they don't want to be on the pitch. So, it is what it is. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We're gonna end it there. We are playing Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. So we will see you then for another Red Devil recap. Until then, be good. Enjoy yourselves. If anything major breaks, like some type of a transfer or something like that, we will be there to talk about it and give our opinions. So thank you again for joining us. If you haven't already, please smash the like button, subscribe, share. Takes 2 seconds of your time. Hit the like button. Really helps out. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good morning, good evening, good night from wherever you're watching in the world. And we'll definitely be bringing you another one like we always do. And until then, we'll see you guys later. Peace out.